Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make some zucchini muffins or zucchini bread, whichever you prefer. We're going to make it today and we're going to make them healthy because there's some out there is like, that is nothing but sugar. So we're going to totally increase the health content, the nutrition content of these zucchini bread, zucchini muffins, and it's going to pass my 3-rule test. So I can't wait to share it with you. I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist, and I'm on mission to keep you on mission. And if you've been watching these videos, I keep saying this over and over and over because you matter to me. Because you matter, because I want your health to be so amazing that you recognize every part of your body that God has created. I want you to have so much vitality that you're able to be on mission no matter where He calls you around the world. And most importantly, I want you to understand how much He loves you. All right, let's get started. We're making the zucchini bread muffins. This is, again, out of my Healthy Treasures cookbook, so you should have this by now. If you don't, grab the link down below right away and get this book. We're on page 60, and once again, there's a lot of white space, so you can make notes as we go along. All right, so let's start. We're going to put our flour in our bowl. Now, I have already milled this flour fresh myself. I milled it this morning because I wanted to be so fresh just for you today. If you cannot use regular wheat flour, spelt flour, kamut flour, those are my favorites, and if you need to go gluten-free, I have this out to remind me to tell you, just use this flour instead. It's Bob's Red Mill all-purpose baking flour. I'll put a link to that down below as well, and you can definitely make this recipe. Now, flour is going to give us fiber and it's going to give us some protein. And if you don't know the entire grocery list of all the nutrients in this grain of wheat, then you need to look it up in the cookbook or the Treasures of Healthy Living Bible Study or the nutrition manual because I thought it was that important. I put it in every one of my books. I really want you to see what God puts in the food that He created for us. It is such an example of His love. So this has fiber and it has protein. But I want us to up the protein for the zucchini bread muffins. So we are going to add in some vanilla protein. This brand is called GBX, which stands for Gut Brain Axis. I'm going to add 2 scoops, and sometimes I might even add 3. I would just cut back a little bit on the flour, but 2 scoops is going to give us a nice hefty dose of protein. Gut Brain Axis means it's going to help heal the digestive tract, the brain, and the connection in between. Let me mix this in real good. So I am just now upping the protein count. If I wanted to, I could also add this other protein, which is a collagen protein. This is, I'll put a link to this company down below. And there's lots of informational videos out there on collagen and the value of that as well. So there we go. We've added some collagen protein and some regular good quality chickpea protein. Okay. Now, in this, we're going to add my other dry ingredients, which is my salt, my cinnamon, baking powder, baking soda, all mixed together already. I am a fan of a particular salt, so I'll put a link to that below as well. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and add in our eggs. Now, the 3 principles that we teach about in the Treasures of Healthy Living Bible Study are, number 1, eat the foods that God called food. Well, the eggs, the yolk and the white, are both ingredients that God designed for us to eat. I get my eggs as much as possible from a farmer that I know. I'm going to add the oil. So the eggs, if you wanted to increase the nutritional value again, you could add an extra egg. Once again, more protein. You cannot go wrong with good quality protein. All right, to this we're going to add our vanilla. Now, instead of using a dry sweetener like sucanat, you could use stevia in this recipe. You could use monk fruit, whatever is your favorite sweetener. Today, I'm actually going to use some sweet potato butter. This is my homemade And I know you're going to want a video for that, aren't you? And so that'll have to come later in the future. But I made a lot of it last year, so I'm using it in a lot of my recipes. Now, zucchini, when it cooks, is going to add a lot of moisture. So right now, this recipe is just a little bit on the dry side. But I'm going to mix it up anyway, and we're going to make this work. So I'm actually going to add some apples. I had some shredded apples in my refrigerator, so we're going to add some apples. And we're going to add our zucchini. And to this, you could add nuts. You could add dates, which I'm going to do right here. And we are just going to blend this all up. Now, what you do with this, you can make it a bread, you can make it muffins. I'm actually going to make some small bread loaves here. I'm going to turn them into this, and I'm also going to make some muffins. Now, what I'm going to do actually is freeze these, so I am ahead for the holidays. So when the kids and the grandkids come to visit, I will already have goodies ready to go, and I won't be trying to figure out how to get my baking done in the middle of preparing for the holidays. All right, so I'm getting this mixed up a little bit here. And it is a little bit dry, so I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid to it. Just going to add a little bit of fruit juice to it. Zucchinis are a very popular vegetable over in the Mediterranean area. You will see them enjoy them with your meals when you go to eat at the Israeli restaurants. When you go to Israel, if you have not been to Israel, you must go to Israel. It is an amazing trip. There's nothing unsafe about it. In fact, the only unsafe place you can ever be is outside of God's will. So if God allows for you to go, then you definitely need to make the trip and enjoy it. Okay, this is perfect. So we're just going to use our scoop and put this in our muffin tins to bake these muffins, and then I will have breakfast ready to go when the holidays come. And remember, I just made it a perfect breakfast because we added extra protein, which is probably why I needed to add a little bit more liquid. So in the future, I would just substitute out some of the flour for the protein so that I don't end up with my texture too dry. So I'm just going to continue filling these up. I'm going to pop them in the oven and bake them, and try not to eat too many of them before I get them in the freezer, because these are going to smell amazing, they're going to taste amazing. We're getting our vegetables, we're getting our proteins, we're getting our fiber, and we're getting the third quality, which is great taste. Very delicious. All right, so we've got our muffins. When I make breads this size, it's the perfect giveaway size. Sometimes these little ceramic ones will go on sale after the holidays, and they make a perfect giveaway. Like bake your bread in this and give them the container and everything. It just looks really pretty with a red bow all wrapped up with a loaf of bread inside. It just makes such an amazing homemade gift. Maybe there's a neighbor in your neighborhood that you have not talked to in a long time, and you just need to go and say hello. Maybe there's a new family that just moved in. We have people moving all of the time, and so this is just a delicious way to get to know them, at giving them just a small loaf of bread. And maybe your pastor needs a friendly gift from you. Maybe you need to go to church in the first place, so have you been lately? The best worship will always be between you and the Lord in your quiet place. But corporate worship is still what God wants us to do as well. Corporate worship, where you can actually talk to people, shake their hand, is much better than watching on TV. All right, so I just want to challenge you. So there we go. We have our muffins ready to go. We have 2 small trays ready to go. We will pop these in the oven. We will have some amazing zucchini bread. And I just want to thank you for stopping by my kitchen today and enjoying this class with me. And I just want to say thank you. So I would love for you to thank me by giving me a thumbs up a share, a like, a comment, a subscribe, the whole list. And when you do that, it helps us share God's message with people around the world. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist.